call. Right. You can join us as well. We'll ask you some questions. Let's see. So spikes. Number one is setting. Comfortable room. Have a seat. Have a seat. Comfortable room. Sitting. No interruption. So obviously in the exam you will be having a comfortable room, but make sure you are sitting because sometimes what happens when you enter into the cubicle, what happens the patient is standing. So obviously we can't disclose the news in standing position because if you disclose in standing position, what can happen? You can have another Breaking Bad. Right? So be careful. So you make them sit first. But sometimes what happens is they just break your sequence. Because when you enter into the cubicle, I think you're ready with few lines. Hello, I'm Ankur, one of the doctors. May I confirm your name and age, please? But what happens? You entered, you are about to say something, and they ask you a question. How's my husband? And you're like, I'm Ankur, one of the doctors. May I confirm your name? It doesn't make sense. You have to answer the question. So what could be the answer? What do you think? I can see you are concerned. I can see you want the information about your husband. Please have a seat. I'll be able to tell you everything in detail, right? So this is what you have to do. And when they will sit, you will sit. By the way, I'm Ankur, one of the doctors. May I confirm your name? Or are you Mr. this or that, right? So still introduction, your introduction, identification of the patient, it is still must. It's not like you will miss that part. But sometimes the patient is standing and they just bombard you with the question straight away. So just be careful on that part as well, right? So comfortable room, sitting, no interruptions. Obviously in the exam there won't be any interruption, but in real life, for example, if you have to disclose any news, bad news or something, so we sometimes take them to the staff room or in a separate room. But in the exam, don't worry about that. So that is your setting. Now perception. See, patients or the relatives, they are going to force you in the exam. Tell me what's happening. Tell me what's happening. But make sure you don't tell them anything in the beginning. What you need to do, you need to assess their knowledge. You need to ask them, you tell me what exactly you know. Tell me why did you bring him to the hospital, right? So how much do you know? Tell me what exactly happened. So you need to get that background story first from them. That is really important. Yeah. So let's see. I won't give you tough time because she's the first candidate. But suppose we will increase the level. But please assess their knowledge. Assess their knowledge first. Now you have got the things from them. So patient might say, the relative might say, okay, the thing is we were at home and suddenly he had bad headache, he collapsed, I got him to the hospital, I don't know what's happening with him. So they gave you a background story. What I want you to do, I want you to reflect it back. Whatever patient says, try to reflect it back. Meaning, okay, so as you mentioned that you were at home, you were watching TV, suddenly he had headache, he collapsed, you brought him to the hospital. Repeat that. And now, before you give the news, you need to layer it up. You need to put some layering. You need to make the patient comfortable in that sense. So you have to put some layering. So a couple of things we have done here. So you can invite the patient. You can give warning shot. You can tell the patient, would you like to have someone beside you before I tell you the news? So what do you think? What will be the reaction from their side? Is everything okay? Is everything okay? Is he fine, doctor? So they will ask something. Okay, then you can mention what you have done here. So in the hospital, what we have done. So according to the scenario that I showed you, so we have done a CT scan, right? I don't have a good news for you. I have a bad news for you. I don't have a good news for you. Keep giving pauses. The most important and difficult thing in the station would be pause. You'll be thinking, I'm not saying anything, how I'm gonna get marks. You will pause. Please give enough pauses in the exam in these kinds of stations. If you tell somebody, I don't have a good news for you, what will be the reaction again? What do you mean tell me? And then tell, I'm really sorry, he has got bleeding in his brain. Keep it after that. Right? Now let's see how they're gonna react. It's not like they're gonna react the same way, right? So maybe examiner has told them like today you have to cry, so they will cry. Sometimes they go in denial. No, no, it's not possible. He was fine. No, you haven't checked him properly. Please go and check him properly. Please tell your seniors they can check the scans and all. So sometimes they go in denial as well. Sometimes they might go in anger as well. So accordingly, you have to see. If they're crying, what you will do? Yes, let them cry first of all, and you can offer tissues as well. Because as we said, like there is a small table beside us, the task will be there. There is a small table beside the patient as well, which will be having the tissue paper, which will be having a glass of water as well. So you can offer glass of water, you can offer tissue papers as well, right? Again, don't force them to drink water. Sometimes, like I've seen candidates like taking glass and drink. I don't want to drink. So you can ask like, would you like to have a glass of water? Would you like to have tissues? This is something that we can do. We can touch. What do you think?
No.
No touching. No touching. So only touching you can do is in examination. That is also after taking consent. Right? Otherwise, in these stations, no. Like many candidates, they ask me like, can we just stand and just tap on their shoulder and all? Nothing, nothing. In real life, yes, we do. In real life, so for example, you are the consultant breaking the news. So usually, what we do, we take the nursing staff also with us. So both of you are sitting, nursing staff is there. So when we break the news, so she or he is there to like support the patient. But in the exam, no, no touching at all. And moreover, you will be having that much of gap, so you should be going to them, right? So just be careful on that. So please give enough pauses. Please put layering in the station properly, right? I don't have a good news for you. Would you like to have someone beside you before I tell you the news? So please do these. And some candidate ask me how long I should pause. There's no answer to that question. Just see the scenario and accordingly you will see. I don't know. It can be 10 seconds. It could be 30 seconds. I don't know. One candidate said it was like more than a minute. And it's like his task was about to finish, and he asked, "Would you like to know the management?" And time finished. He got full marks in the station. The station is about breaking the news in a nice way, right? Okay, after that, what we have emotions and empathy. Obviously, the whole station is about emotions and empathy, right? And the strategy and summary. Then, in the end, what you will tell the treatment plan as well. What's the treatment plan? For example, the scenario that I showed you, what was the treatment plan? Palliative care. Can you tell me what is palliative care for that patient, the scenario that we just see?
Providing comfort for the end of life care.
Providing comfort. So what it includes?
NG-tube for
NG can be given? Yes, can be given, okay.
urine catheter,
Catheter can be put, yes.
physiotherapy,
Physiotherapy, otherwise the joints will become stiff, so a bit of physiotherapy, good.
moving patient,
Moving patients so that they won't get any bad sores and all, fine.
and painkillers,
Painkillers can be given, yes.
mouth care.
Mouth care, yes. Hygiene we can look after, yes. Sometimes we put some eye drops as well because when patient is unconscious, what happens? Their eyes are always open. So just to make sure they don't become dry, and also we give some lubricant eye drops as well. So these are the things that can be mentioned if they want to know things in very much detail. All right. Okay, strategy and summary done. And you will come across lots of challenging questions as well. So I'm not going to tell, I think she has read already. So I'm going to ask during the consultation and I'm going to see how she's going to answer those questions. Some question where there is no answer actually, but still I'm going to ask and let's see what she does, right? So let's do the first station. So the one I showed you, we won't do that. Let's do the different one, yeah? So let's read this one. We have got so many Breaking Bad news scenarios. I think 4 or 5 we have put in your book, but you can get something new as well, maybe in your exam. But don't tell me, oh, I got news station. You know how to break the news now, right? So your FY2 in surgery, patient is Mr. David Scotland, age 65, had an ischemic stroke last week, which affected his left side. He was recovering well. He was doing fine. He developed another stroke yesterday, and his GC